So we're going to talk today. This presentation is, we're going to cover some misinformation and disinformation sort of basics on why in emergencies misinformation tends to spread and how. And then I'm going to turn things over to my colleague Diane Russell, who's going to talk a little bit about some of the work that EPA did in East Palestine in an attempt to build a more trusted risk communication space that was sort of outside some of the misinformation and disinformation that was happening. With that, I want to turn things over to Diane Russell, who is going to talk, with that in mind, about some of the work that we've done in East Palestine.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Diane Russell, and I work for the Environmental Protection Agency as a community involvement coordinator. So folks that do my job are, in essence, the folks that go on the front lines in these kinds of scenarios and situations. And we take the tools that we know in our toolbox as far as engagement and what we know works and have applied in a number of communities that have.
I have one question and maybe a follow-on. You mentioned you reached out to the community gardening groups with the fight of remediation and so forth. And I'm sure one of the questions was, can we eat our garden produce? What did you say to them?
Sorry, repeat that. Can you get your garden what?
So in East Palestine, you reached out to and had sessions with the community garden groups, I guess. In that session, I'm certain they would ask you, can I eat my garden produce grown in East Palestine at the homes?
Yeah, so there was a large initial concern about that, and people even were wondering if they could, because their pools were, do I swim in my pool? Do I have to clean my pool? So that was one of the drivers to we understood people were worried about that soot that was deposited, and that's why we went out and did a pretty expansive soil sampling that was conducted in the area, just to show and provide evidence that, there isn't really anything we're finding above background here. Please proceed to, operate as normal. And if you have questions or concerns, connecting them with their local extension. Ohio State Extension has been a fantastic partner in working and helping people who had concerns like that kind of navigate that as well.
I follow on Ohio State work that was done in the field. It was done with early wheat and barley and so forth, many miles distance from the heart of East Palestine. My question is, the garden produce that the community themselves have been eating all summer and this fall, did the US EPA do any empirical sampling of the produce to tell them it was safe to eat?
That was something that the states were looking at, livestock, and so the efforts for sampling was kind of at the state level.
I understand, but did the US EPA sample any produce that the people have been eating in East Palestine?
No, we sampled soil again. That if there was a line of evidence that showed that we needed to put out any advisories, we did not find any evidence of that.
I understand the US EPA does not sample on private residences' property. Is that correct?
We have to get access agreements to do that.
I understand. Thank you.